Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, while everyone is looking at the right hand, I often try to peek into what the left hand is keeping from us. And as such, I ran into this article, which in my opinion is something to be very concerned about, and something that we need to take into consideration while working on our preparedness plan. So as the news and social media is eyeing geopolitical issues, well, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I like food and like to stay informed as to whether food and stuff will become more expensive or even less available in the future. The title of this article reads, Farmers Warn, Megadrought in Western U.S. Threatens Devastating Crop Failures in 2021. And there's a lot of good information packed into this article, so I'm going to try to unwrap it for you and see what's coming ahead. And hopefully we can better prepare. Take a look at this map. It was released about a week ago, and it shows the state of drought for what I would say is about half of our country. And more importantly, it spans across many of the states that produce a great deal of our food. This type of scenario, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm opposed to the United States exporting to other nations so much of the food that we grow. Because if our country does not emulate that which preppers do and keep a savings account numbered in calories and sustenance, then to whom will we turn when the rainy day, or in this case, when the dry days come? Ladies and gentlemen, I've often said that correlation does not equal causation, but that what really matters is the probability of what the outcome may be, in order for us to be better informed and therefore know how to better prepare. Throughout U.S. history, there have always been droughts in the western half of the country from time to time, but what we are dealing with now is truly alarming. Scientists tell us that a multi-year megadrought has developed in the southwestern portion of the country, and this is the worst year of that megadrought, so far by a wide margin. If conditions do not radically improve soon, we are going to have a major agriculture disaster on our hands. Some farmers have already decided not to plant crops at all this year, but many others have decided to plant anyway, knowing that if enough rain doesn't come their way, crops will certainly fail. The epicenter of this megadrought is the Four Corners region in the southwest, but this drought is so immense, it is even causing immense nightmares for farmers as far away as North Dakota. And it says here that the first few months of this year were the driest that North Dakota has seen in 126 years. The period of January to March 2021 was the driest in 126 years for North Dakota. Farmers are starting to make difficult decisions on planting and culling herds as the governor of the state declared a statewide drought disaster on April 8th. Soil moistures across the state, particularly in western portions of North Dakota, are lacking sufficient moisture to sustain normal crop development growth. The first 8 days of April in 2021 offered little help as hot summer-like temperatures, gusty winds, and low humidity across the state accelerated drying conditions. Things are dry and dusty in the upper Midwest, the northern plains states, and the prairie provinces of Canada. The U.S. Drought Monitor shows around 70% of North Dakota is in extreme drought conditions, with most of the rest in a slightly less scary severe drought rating. As a result, the futures prices of both spring wheat and canola are at their highest in years, with traders expecting a lower harvest this year. Despite all of our advanced technology, farmers cannot grow crops if it doesn't rain. And a farmer in Texas named Blake Fennell says that his farm has not had any significant rain in almost 2 years. The West Texas farmer says his area hasn't seen significant rain in nearly 2 years. Quote, "We've still got to give that crop every chance we think we can get." And he says that at the same time, they really don't want to waste a lot of money on a crop that they don't think will mature. Right now, nearly the entire state of Texas is in some kind of a drought, and we haven't even gotten to the summer months yet. To call this a plague would be a major understatement. On the border of Oregon and California, farmers just learned that water levels are so low that they will only get a tiny fraction of the water they need in 2021. Hundreds of farmers who rely on a massive irrigation project that spans the Oregon-California border learned Wednesday they will get a tiny fraction of the water they need amid the worst drought in decades, as federal regulators attempt to balance the needs of agriculture against federally threatened and endangered fish species that are central to the heritage of several tribes. Oregon's governor said the prolonged drought in the region has the full attention of our office, and she is working with congressional delegates, the White House, and federal agencies to find relief for those affected. Drought conditions are already forcing valley farmers to make difficult decisions when it comes to their crops, as many are facing severe water restrictions. There's districts throughout California that have experienced up to 95% reduction in water. Wow, that's incredible, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, all of these restrictions that they're putting on farmers is really going to hurt the productivity of their farms. And they're putting these restrictions on them, from what I can see, in order to save some fish and endangered species. But what they're not thinking about is that we are going to become an endangered species if we don't get to grow food in order to feed the people in our country at a minimum. U.S. food production will be down in 2021, but if sufficient rain starts falling in the western U.S., we could still see a miracle. But if enough rain does not fall, we are going to see epic crop failures. And ladies and gentlemen, with epic crop failures will become epic food price increases. Racked by drought, climate change, and overuse, a key reservoir on the Colorado River could sink to historically low levels later this year. New U.S. government projections show, potentially triggering significant water cutbacks in some states as early as next year. If you still live anywhere in the western half of the country, you should brace yourself for severe water restrictions. That's on top of the water restrictions they already have. And all of us need to brace ourselves for much higher prices at the grocery store. For decades, the western half of the country was blessed with unusually high levels of rainfall, but that wasn't going to last forever. Now, Dust Bowl conditions have returned, and farmers, ranchers, and local authorities are starting to panic. As this mega drought continues to intensify, life is going to dramatically change in the western half of the nation, and that is going to deeply affect all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Stack it to the rafters. Don't care what anybody thinks. I've often said, don't care about those people that call you a hoarder. You're not a hoarder if you're stocking up in order to ensure some security for your family, for the things that are to come. And if they don't come, ladies and gentlemen, if by some miracle we get all the rainfall we need for the farmers to succeed in feeding our nation, then that's great news for everyone. And all you have to do is eat the food that you stored to the rafters. And you'll be eating it at today's prices, instead of the elevated prices that are going to be coming down the line, not only due to scarcity, but due to geopolitical issues, due to the money printing that's going on, due to all those several factors, ladies and gentlemen. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to prep as much as you can. If you have money in the bank, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would say that it would suit you much better to have that money converted into physical goods that you know you're going to need in the coming months and even years ahead. And as I've always stated, the best savings account in the world is a full pantry. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in on this video. Truly do appreciate it. I'd like to remind all of you that are subscribed to the Alaska Prepper News channel that we will be having a live stream this afternoon at 3 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, if you'd like to join us over there. Other than that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I am out.